my goodness gracious, goodness gracious. JT.
Is all the flags on top of that, you know?
Let me see Alwa.
Are all of the flags on him on top of you think my head?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I feel like we live, you know, we're not live.
We live? No.
Yeah. Okay.
Me I say we live, boy.
Yeah, that's how come I thought you're talking.
No, me just realize I'm live. You know what I mean? Look there, I have to take off my makeup and all that stuff now. Gotta take off my scotch bonnet. I just want to say manners and respect to everybody who tune in. And I mean, sorry about that earlier. You don't know, it's your boy China Wallen, aka Wutup, aka Jason, aka Walla King. Yeah, and your boy Alan Powell as well. You know. hmm Yeah, going back his beard, and it's all about the topics tonight. And the topics has been great so far. You know, and for me, I've been in and out, busy timing, etc. But YOLO, you only live once. But I am here now, and Alan, how it's going with you, man?
Things going good with me as usual. Still out the country, as you could see, still
Okay,
out of the country. Um, I went to a comedy show. You
yeah.
don't follow any comedy. You don't deal with any comedy. Where you going?
Um, I don't just follow up on like when you're scrolling through Facebook and you put up on those comedy skit
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff with Bernie Mac and and a little Riley, whoever the fat kid name, the fat dude, the white
So
fat
you, so
dude.
you- so you ain't necessarily in tune to like none of the comedians there right now. You ever hear about DC Young Fly?
Oh, those guys for wilding out? Yeah.
Okay. So what happened? Them man got a show, 85 South Shop,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the vibes. You understand? And what happened? My girl been tell me last week Thursday by Alan, put on some clothes. We going out. You understand? So I end up on finding out what going on, and I see pie. So I just want to kind of relate what going on, what I observe, because what happened is like when I go to the country, I just kind of observe things to see what could translate back possibly. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think everything necessarily go translate back. Some things is
Yep.
cultural. You understand? Is Nevis. Whereas some things is like I'm just looking at it and I'm like, well, but look how it's interesting how they use the building. So the show took place at what they call the Amway Center. This is where the Orlando Magic would normally play basketball. So this is a seat like about 20,000. But I like how you got, cause we were sitting down actually on the floor. And then it still got the
Yeah.
stands and them people up in the stand and them and all kind of thing. Now, Jason, we in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And first of all kind of people. I see big woman, I see not children, cause this is an adult show. But
Yeah.
I see like young people, I see white girls, I see older people, I see all kind. Jason, we in the Amway Center, man. This is a place where I wanna see it on TV. You check it out. I see basketball games played by Jason. I in there. And I say, that no weed me smell. It can't be. Jason, me start to look around. I say, What going on? And just like when I look and see which part is really is the white girl was sitting down right next to me. She pen. She
Yeah.
great pen. You understand? And she licking back. Jason, by the time the show start off, right? Grannies, as I'm telling you, you got Rasta, all kind of people. There was no confusion. I didn't see any of the event security going on with nothing. Because the event security, and this is the thing what I consistently see when I outside the Nevis, event security is to make sure that the event go on. If you got people like causing confusion, they must step in. But outside of that, come on. The man ain't your business with none of that there, Jason. I was amazed. And part of the thing is like what I was saying to and it's the same thing when I tell people like with like what we call the Mondo chap. You can't just have an infrastructure and you're using it for one thing. If we build the track and the track is only for sports, so we only gonna use the track February and March because
Mm-hmm.
remember, I mean, the track is a good concept if he had finished, you know. If he actually had parking and the gym what was supposed to be out there and the different facilities, then maybe you would have been trying the consistent thing. But really and truly, the track don't just fit in. So in terms of like you hear cultural come by we want an event, you know. We got cultural games. Boom. Them kind of ways there.
It's like
Christmas
the
are
same
come.
thing.
Them kind.
It's like the same thing for my weekend. I went to the monster truck jam,
Mm-hmm.
and the venue what they use it for horses. They got to utilize it, right?
When I was leaving the show, he had the people and them there who walk who like would lay in and whatever. She give me a pamphlet and it's showing you all the different type of events that gonna be at the Amway Center over the course of like going down all the way to like November. You
Mm-hmm.
check it out. So you see the organ and as I say, you got a building what ain't gonna just there and you're gonna say you gonna use only basketball time. So that when basketball come in, yeah, he gonna use for basketball. He gonna got times when he use for basketball and something else and the same day. These are the ways I just feel like we got to be. It was a good experience, as I said, from the social standpoint. I just seeing, as we said, but all kind of people. And the man ain't come someone and the man was like, yeah. And whereas I'm just thinking of events in Nevis, and this is under a roof to it.
Yeah.
Whereas Kayona in Nevis, they will say, oh, inside and wherever. I feel like we need to have more catering and responsibility for especially private events. Let the people and then get them. Just now, man, take out your titty. You know? Take out, boy, he had titty cam. He had titty cam. Boy, it was a good show, man. I got a lot of laughs and all them things. And I just feel like it was a good experience. I, you see, sometimes when we out of the country, right, I'm
Yeah.
wondering because I'm going out and it's not just to like you're supposed to like go to dinner at this place, you know, you really got to take in things and see what is going on, what is working, and as me say, what could work for you. You go watch things. I don't know if they just go to other places and like read progress report and let them tell them what is working or whatever. But part of the thing, as me say, I feel like you got to get in to the culture
Well,
and see what's
well,
going on.
Alan, well, Alan, as I've been saying earlier months back, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't travel. And
Well, guys,
and with that being said, true, a lot of people don't travel, right? everybody feel like wherever happening home, like it happening elsewhere too. No, something got proper infrastructure in place. Like you could at the movies, and if you fall down or something happen to you, the man don't got paramedics right there too.
And this is what I'm talking about, like with the Monday chat. Like, bye. When I hear the premier say the Mondo Shack is a world class facility, right? I understand what the premier intention is. You know? The premier
World
intention is
class.
to boost the morale of Nevis people. You understand? And to say you are able to compete with whoever. All I'm telling you, the problem what the premier facing is we got too much of people. Cause you say people not travel, but you got man what go all over the place. You know? It doesn't get man what get to travel like as a youth and Costa Rica. You know what I'm saying? For a weekend, for a week. It does got people seeing all kind of thing and we actually seeing world class facilities. I bigger people you know got to go visit England. No? Bigger people
No,
even in the Caribbean, the sea facilities, and then you come and you say it's world class, and we know that as you say, you know, getting simple things like and we gonna I gonna say it's simple, but when we're talking about a world class facility, them things they're simple things.
yeah,
You got X-ray machine, like world class facility is like nearly a hospital at this point in time. And right now, Abby can play consistent football. We're not gonna park in. How you not gonna park in at a world class facility? You got certain things. As me say, I
no. Don't
understand
focus.
the
Don't
intention.
don't focus on the parking. Focus on the track itself. The rubber. Focus on the rubber on the track.
That is why the right name is the Mondo Chap. Because as I say, we're not gonna consistent football. One football game we watch what them man promised us we was gonna get a little more football. And me ask them and them and tell me nothing became of it.
Hmm.
I understand who are traveling is in the position to upgrade Nevis to some of the good things in the outer world. Nah, I do nothing. Yeah, me tell you something too.
Yeah.
This now is part of I feel like okay. This is why I always say the politician real responsibility is to provide the opportunity. Me not necessarily feel like it's on the government of Nevis to build all of these things so that Nevis people could do them. Me feel like it's the government responsibility to make Nevis an attractive place that people could invest. It's the same thing of like we all keep on coming back to investors, you know. But when we're talking about investors, the place has to be attractive so that people are gonna say, you know what, of all the places I could invest in, I'm going to do it in
F
Nevis.
F F Nevis. If well, as you see, government gonna keep on taking a lot of credit for a lot of stuff, and at the end of the day, we can't even vex with them because a lot of us rely upon the government to do everything for us. Every time I out here want to show somebody something with Nevis, is a 4 season video I got to show them. Like you got MSR Media now, so capitalize with MSR Media will do a full, at least a 2 minutes documentary about the whole island. You know what I mean? You go squeeze that in and bit. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna cost you more than your campaign.
You could direct them to Sunshine Facebook page too, man. Sunshine like a superstars, huh? Sunshine now had
I know
Super Bowl
Sunshine got that thing, but
champions.
it just focus on Sunshine. Sunshine doing his part. You know what I mean? But if you want good representation, you know what I mean? If you want to take all the glory, you know, you got MSR media down the too. You know what I mean? Or you go hire a regular cameraman and all. You know? If you want to be boasting
Mm-hmm.
with something sincere, you could take picture, drive on the land and grab a documentary or something too. So at least when I go on YouTube, I could type in Nevis and people could understand certain things. Not when me I show them the island, where look the first thing pop up was Four Seasons.
Okay. Well, okay. You know, okay. You notice there's consistent themes with me, and I keep on talking about production and all these different events as production. Even when we talk about culture armor, the real importance part of this thing of why you take all of these pictures, as you say, is so that you can package them, Jason. So that
Mm-hmm.
when you out there somebody talk to you about Nevis, you could say, bye. I wonder which one of the clips them from Wetford. Suppose I go show this man, you understand? And you got people, you edit them and all these type of different type of things. You can't just be capturing this content and ain't doing anything with the content. I feel like the content is just for today. But listen, right? The IT department is underutilized. IT department, I feel like until we really get somebody who is computer savvy up there in the government, them man gonna continue treat IT department like by calling man when I the internet gone down. Tell them man we need new antivirus or them kind of thing there. Whereas we supposed to that once again IT and NTV, you supposed to get somebody who splice. Them man just know about splicing video, splicing audio, and could just put these things together.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna end up to come out and be mimicked in society. I feel like a lot of the time these things, right? This could happen privately, and then I feel like the government will say, "Bye, we need to get somebody like that." Then, because as I said, like they don't really understand the value yet. I feel like if they see somebody do it privately, that when they're gonna be like, boy, I will need somebody who will be good with them kind of thing there. Them I might even hire on for the campaign first. You check it out. But them kind of things there. Oh yes, Tanya, I'm still out. Along but me still you know realize Tanya. But like as me say, and me feel like even as a young man right now could do it. As far as putting together packages so that you could sell the country. But I only seen really and truly some of these things look like that the only intention is buy, yeah, take that there. And we're gonna use that when it's election time. I mean I
Mm-hmm.
understand. It look like everything only see about for election. But the package is supposed to be bigger than that. If you have an opportunity,
Bye.
just go to Gibraltar or Rhodes and see how our small island government utilize their resources to better their people. There's also some, geographic advantages to being in Gibraltar, but I understand
Geographic.
your, yeah, I understand, Jetty Taylor, what you're saying. The resources could be used better. Um, really and Julie, you want to talk about the report from the people, then, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, let's get into it.
But I had one or two things to touch on before then. Um, you have any reactions to the election reactions? And by that, I ain't even gonna like Alan do Nevis have any person in Sky Juice. Jason, I feel like you might know more about that, huh? Schedules, I don't think it, huh?
I don't do any.
Does Nevis have anybody in schedules? Schedules no one man.
You know, Sky Juice are one person. You know,
So,
you gotta make yourself more clearly. And back to
but
what we were saying now.
yeah. So why we not asking, you know? I hear NRP saying some things which I find to be unbelievable. I want to know. You find that these could be believable? Like NRP saying that they shock that CCM bringing people. That's a statement. That is reasonable. That make any kind of sense to you, Jason?
There's once there's a fight, there's no rules, you know. And once it's a fight in Nevis, there is no rules. That ain't a UFC. The thing is a UFC fight where you got a referee there.
No, but
This is a fight to win, you know.
oh, the new AG. Hold on, I'm coming to you, Tanya. Tanya, want to know my take on the new AG. I'm coming to you. Right now. Watch out, Jason. Even if he had rules, there be no people gonna come in the election. I know CCM spend a number of dollars bringing in NRP people. Bringing in people wanna vote. NRP spend money on people who vote to CCM. Well, listen, one thing I learned from having conversations with some people who went to vote, I'm telling you, the two party should just split the bill because CCM does pay for a lot of people and wanna vote to them. I was just kind of, it's either that CCM yo, people getting fed up. Well, fed up ish. I
Fed
mean,
up
that's regards
ish.
to what you're saying about the geographics person. Oh no! I was saying where Gibraltar is located would give it benefits. Where you are located on the map always have some kind of bearing on how much money you're gonna have. With regards to the AG, everything I ever heard about the AG is that he's going to play a role in the development of St. Kitts and Nevis. I hear people say he's a Palmer, however. That make me feel kind of good, really and truly. If Labour could hire a Pam man. And I say it from the standpoint of he has been everything I hear. I never work with him or nothing. I never met the man personally. I know people who don't work with him and who don't meet him, and all of them have told me the man is exceptional and the man is going to be contributing to St. Kitts and Nevis. So he would appear to be a very good man for the job. I was concerned when I hear about Jason Hamilton, but when I hear God, I was like, okay, so we're gonna have a good age. Well,
So
I'm gonna
so
I'm gonna wait and judge him and see how he does because we got some
okay.
things to do. I, wa-
Okay. I was gonna say
I,
something.
yeah, I want to see, like, let me see, for example, if we gonna get a little tempo on the cannabis legislation. Okay. I'm looking at the laws and I'm gonna see what get acceleration what is put forth to on the table. So we're gonna see what kind of guy the guy is.
So all the restrictions has dropped, right? And do when you do you have to be do you have to be vaccinated to apply for a job still in the government system?
To apply. I didn't even know that that was a thing, but I don't, based upon Dr. Jew and everything that he has chosen to like associate himself with, I don't think that he would do that. Your area rep Honorable Eric is too damn disrespectful. He called out a lady. He called out a lady, one of his constituents, saying she and her family is ungrateful because the lady didn't vote. Well, that I would assume that's a vote for him in the last election. Jason wasn't going to get that post, eh? Was never really in the running, honestly. Or he said Jason was never going to get it. Okay. Yeah. Well, as I said, Garth, I have been told, is an exceptional mind. So we shall see what unfolds for the guy.
I wonder who is that lady, Tisha Paul. But anyways, as I was saying, right,
Oh
they will
yeah,
just give it
oh
100
yeah.
days.
As you talk about Tisha,
Hmm.
and this is not to say that Tisha Paul is anybody like what I'm about to talk about. But is
Yeah,
Eliza Williams? Is
yeah.
Eliza Williams is okay. So to you and let me not even say let me say allegedly Eliza Williams is Mark Brantley. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay. And I just find that it's kind of. I mean, we just went through the thing of the premier was felt attacked, particularly on social media and cronies and all these kind of thing. I'm hearing that up Gingerland to a few persons. Yeah, CCM kind of. And I say I not win. I'm just saying, you start to slip before you slide. But anyway, so the Eliza Williams thing, I just what happened? It popping up too much, and people saying that's the premier, that's the premier, and I just wanted to get some kind of because I know kind of what kind of you just be paying attention, allegedly, and I feel like
Allegedly.
yeah, is one we can remember local election coming up, and I done kind of started to formulate me questions in case I'm in the position to speak to any of the potential candidates. And one of them I want to talk about is the Eliza Williams situation. We gonna need some resolution on the matter. It too. Listen, I see this thing. I watching a show, pan SKN vibes, and they would be getting it out in the chat. I only just go in the chat if things sweet, and me I say, boy, I hear that there. Me don't go in no kind of chat or no kind of confusion. I gone in to instigate.
Of course.
But too much he got too much confirmation with the Eliza Williams and the Premier, and I feel like it
Nice.
could be better. Yeah. The Premier is a man who would tell you he gonna say what he got to say. So he's supposed to be able to stand up and yeah, and he got more than one Facebook page. If
And
Eliza Williams that he want, how much Facebook page he want to Kevin Durant
so
the
tell me
situation.
something, Alan. So if you're going to Facebook jail, if Eliza goes into Facebook jail, right? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Is the alleged person who uses the next profile attached to it will be in jail too?
Not when he got so much account, allegedly.
Hmm.
When you got them amount that come there, you got premier, you got the honorable, you got allegedly Eliza. Are you surprised I got one father of this child, father of the other child,
So
hus- husband of
so
Sharon.
you believe all of these are basically more than a double life now? Like that's his okay. This is when he feel petty. He allegedly jump into Eliza when he feeling petty or feeling to cuss.
I would like to know what? Tisha Paul, y'all both check how both of them type stuff on Facebook. Wow, he look like Tisha studied the same thing as I. All right, all right. And listen, like really and truly, like is a number and months now. Really, somebody sent me a Facebook thing and they was like, Alan, monitor this, just monitor this page here, so. And, and the premier is and he would admit this. He got a lot of grey now. He's a senior member of parliament. I would like to see some senior behavior. You understand? Allegedly. Allegedly. Jason, no, on your account that's black. You don't have access to. Tanya, like, she's an expert on Facebook jail. You know, me never go in a Facebook jail. Me never do, me, apparently, me never do not know go in a Facebook jail.
Why? Me tired going there. Remember me had an original page called Select a Matter. That they don't get
Mm-hmm.
right off. I mean, we couldn't get in Facebook for a year.
But he had some other sad stories I was saying with NRP. Cleon was talking about one, and she was talking about sometimes you would get half a voter for being dead, and you come back next election, and the same name they on the voters list, and they have a frustration with that. My thing is, right, if I was running an election, I would well want whoever going against me cheating, Jason. Please cheat. Please cheat. Because watch here is it, the people in who on the primary party somehow monitor vibes people. You better believe that. Oh God, we gonna get you. And ain't gonna be them kind of easy. Jason, could you believe how what the things then where you got to do it is like you're getting off dead people name, but big man, everything made up on video. You cheat me, but no, we're gonna nasty you.
So, so you're trying to say that people better than Tanya? It was alleged Tanya not get to vote, no?
Oh yeah,
Somebody tell me so this morning. I said, shit, I forget to call Tanya. But it was
if
alleged.
if I say you go, you're gonna have to tell her. But me only I said that to say this. It's the premier has already instructed us how to deal with election, how to deal with voters list and all them kind of thing there. Any party who say them get cheat based on the voters list,
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like you ain't paying attention. And maybe you ain't paying. Maybe it's because your books in your ass is how come because these is just details things. Really and truly. Um some of the things, as I say, what happened in this election was really a benefit. Because even if it was a shock election, it's like you nearly had the full 90 days. Generally, when election call, you're not gonna 90 days. Who be there and attack and make sure you got time to get this thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are a politician, how you in election mode all the time? I don't understand what is the wait for and then the complaining to say them cheat me. Gotcha. I'm telling you, when Queen show results when I call them, I realize what going on and I start to tell me girl, watch here. I know who you're backing. I know you're backing Shamali. And I just want to let you know this is gonna be uncomfortable. I say because you will agree with me, Shamali lose the evening way and he lose them interview segment there in the ass. So I say, right there, he close, he tight. I don't know how we going, but I just letting you know, I talking like this is a runaway and I want to prepare for this thing to be tight. See where it be end up happening? See where it be end up happening?
Well, crowd favorite don't normally win.
Boy, what you talk I say? And CCM is a cold favorite and stay punching. What you talking about? The big blue machine? Who you playing with?
Boy, I could say crowd favorite at the same time too because for the past campaign we seen, you know, I mean, dead like a dog, and we were saying like, look at it, dead.
Right.
I
I'm
sure they had
looking for
lose focus too.
I'm looking for
Yeah,
the
return
for
the
the
comment.
what you say? No. So you see, Alan, when people are saying happy, boy, me ticket to come home is like my name take off since 2018. Eh? Pour me in now when Tim a ring the bell. When me buy me ticket, but my name back on the list now. Oh, I feel that me you're gonna be participating in what I say November, the Thanksgiving election. Make sure you get your finger ready again. I hope you get have the ink from the last one, the losing ink. Hope you, I hope you get some winning ink with the next one.
But you know what the last one?
Oh, yeah, your hand clean. Your hand clean. You're good
So it was
then.
neutral.
On your channel, I feel you. Uh, maybe he done win, and he just got to continue winning, stay winning.
But suppose it was a situation where NRP lose by one in a tongue.
With the win by remember they win by a mountain in a St. John's. No? So no care if them been winning at all. Because
So
me and them have,
wait, repeat that. Repeat that. I didn't hear you.
I said they win by a mountain in St. John's. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, enough.
So
Cause me and them,
Pat beat Mark in St. John's.
no, you know, I hear what me I say. I saying CCM win by a lot in St. John's. So
Yeah,
even if Mark had lose tongue by one, he was still gonna be winning by a lot.
in St. John's. Okay.
Yes. And this has been blamed by the NRP upon CCM bringing in people. NRP is of the opinion that the people pan the ground, if they was left to decide the election, um, they would have
What?
win.
What I said? The anti-man seat safe. Who the anti-man?
Hmm? Eric is pushing the
No, because
notion that the family should have voted for Eric because Eric gave one of the family members a qualified job, so he felt as if all the members should have get up and vote for Eric because one member got a qualified job. Let me tell you something, right? This is why, because I trying now, I give me some, I telling me about Eric. I'm happy to discuss Gingerland, okay? But if Eric lose Gingerland, I telling me ain't happy winning the election, yeah? And it ain't gonna be so easy, because he got the biggest mountain of climb. Definitely, he win 27% of the vote. You check, even Pat have a more reasonable opportunity than even Janice got a more reasonable opportunity than Eric at this particular moment in time. So I don't really. I don't got to see more strength to believe that one day.
don't worry, everybody will gain up for local. The tickets are booked for local.
Tickets are booked for local. I mean again,
Yeah,
how they know me
the
gonna be in
tickets, the
Nevis?
tickets them were booked for local, so you can't cancel them tickets and squeeze them in for federal. The budget was for local.
Listen, hey Jetty Taylor, me not sponsor you the part the boat come on up to Nevis and vote. Eh?
And and the next thing
All
too,
your Labour voters are still thinking.
and next thing too, Alan, like
Mm-hmm.
still talking about bribe and all and thing. Then It don't make no sense. CCM do what they have to do win. You do what you got to do. You get in, then sort out the matter afterwards.
Um, when you say they do what they had to do, win, right? Ooh, okay. What is the difference, right, between NRP and what labor?
The difference between NRP and Labour
Yeah.
Labour by yo is a million things because a million wonderful things I could say about Labour, right? And right now,
Well, go ahead.
and right now, I ain't got I not even a wonder. Me just a wait.
But you not give me the difference. You not even give me one.
But if I say I got million great things, you know what I mean? Yo, the new Labour Party right now is well constructed and in order, and they 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 stick towards what people want to hear in terms of certain issues and all that stuff there, rather than the propaganda and all the type of shit. NRP, it look like when CCM people get out, you know what I mean? They flock up one of that day. It's like somebody a fight down a tongue, mine. So like for instance, so like you as a gang member fighting in tongue, you understand me? Ain't the leader fighting, but you're going to grasp on that situation when you're supposed to be a focus on the bigger fish, you know? So NRP don't get too much of this, don't get distracted too easy and need to focus on the bigger things. That's just my opinion.
Let me tell
But
you
Labour,
something.
wow.
The only reason I make an ask is that Labour basically they win 2 seat 2015 to Archie. And
Two.
if they win and then they win two
No, they
again
win three.
2000 and then they went backwards again
Yeah.
2020. You understand? And then all of a sudden now them come to the point where all you tell me Labour looks so organized on this. Now let me tell you something about this Labour story. I understand what the honeymoon phase of the relationship look like. I know. Let's take pictures, baby. Look there. Yeah. I know what the honeymoon phase look like. Let we see what gonna happen when you know what I mean. Rent time. You check. Let me see what gonna happen when somebody lose a job. You check. Let me see what gonna happen when rough times. But don't tell me. I don't really tell me nothing about this labor looks so wonderful and really this honeymoon. Nah, guy, know what? I just watching the wire. I know I are sexy. I look good in our suits and them looking kind of interactive so far. But that just said the honeymoon phase.
But
As me
Alan,
say, me, go ahead.
when you look at it too, a lot of people come back home to Labour too, you know. Cause one thing, you know, think it's gonna change you. One certain things are going certain way, you know.
Um,
Think it's a Nevis people are two totally different people, you know. Think it's wanted a change and they got the change plus a plane.
um, I so why we continuing to keep elections then? Because all I continue to hear when me talk to people is Nevis people and think it's people are two different set of people. And Nevis people are just comfortable. So why we continue keep election and so far? Nevis people been comfortable with NRP at one point in time, you know? Until there wasn't. I, Nevis people was comfortable going superfood and getting superfood cutting off 1 o'clock on a Sunday until he got supermarket will come along and they say them a go Sunday till in the night.
Yep.
Until when I know we don't have a superfood anymore. Superfood end up get buy out. Me nah try to knock people for knowing what is going on and saying, "Boy, this happen." And what me just try to tell her is that just because this happen, I'm not certain that this mean that it will always be the case. When you watch labor, you talk about certain things like the organize. You see the organization with labor. When you watch NRP, you see the organization. You see, watch it. He,
But
he got a formula to everything. You know? Every
of course,
DJ would be unique, but them are gonna tell you got some basic formulas. You got to do
yeah.
some of these basic things. You got to when you want a unique style, then you put in and you might scotch this time. So put in whatever effect. That's your shit. But you gonna have some basic things where you go do. And we don't sometimes see the basic with NRP. Because okay, the reason me ask you some of these things. Anytime NRP lose the election, it doesn't come off kind of bitchy. And cheat me. Man, you know me gonna bring in all them people. I don't want to buy votes, huh? Hey, you know what I mean like about sports? These man, right? Them man are the underdog, right? They going to play against this team. Got all the ballers. Them man spend this money pan that one day. And that money they pan that one day. And the coach in the next side, I watch that man and say, "Are you ever see money score goal now? Are you ever see money win an election?" I'm telling you, CCM spend all kind of money, stop the works out themselves, and spend money on people who ain't vote for them. This is happening all the time. This gonna happen in the next election. This getting ready to happen again. I tell her, both sides need to just split the cars. If I bring one Nevis people, bring one Nevis people, it would have been better. But if I don't want to split the
You
cars, boy,
just got me a
I
laugh.
will not boy, Jason, you got people upgrade flight. Yeah.
Listen, watch it. Based on what I saw, I know a lot of NRP people ain't came home because I see me ain't see nobody from the Bronx because I in touch with a lot of people too, right? And based on what me see on the status and all that stuff, the back which part they live in America or whatever. You know what I mean? Having a good time and wherever. I guess that's as I said, you know what I mean? Probably the ticket them don't book out for the local.
Right. Even if that's the case, lose and lose better than some.
But my thing is, Alan, if you know all of these show up on the outside with the planes coming in, it focus on what you got on the inside.
Hey, let me show you a vibe. You know, people try to get in between me and Chevy, but involving Abi to father because he was going on. My father being the starter, Chevy father a whole the finishing line.
Yeah,
None of them go cheat, but people still would bring them in. Who try to bring a kind of friction. You might could say you got a slight advantage if you know how the starter start. Like you know the cadence. Mark, set, okay. You can't cheat though, You can't signal,
yeah,
okay. Watch it, I'm gonna say go. A fraction of a second, oh yeah. Oh, just in a can't. If I can't hold the line and decide, boy, I'm gonna pull back so that the race gonna be 101 meters. Anything where you do, the cheating thing always coming. Me does watch Queen show just so here. Them cheat. All before them call me, as soon as they say second run out, me rush go on Facebook. I say them cheat. Cause I don't know what's coming. You know what I go on. And you like when you're operating pandemic kind of levels, if I be running a race and be 12 and 13 and realize what? Them man a instigate. You ever enter them kind of pool? I tired of politicians and say people are cheat and nobody a go to jail. And I happy no all of this cheating going on and ain't reporting it to nobody. Really? Someone when I believe I you. We can't do it.
True.
But they let Spencer get away with kind of happy who Spencer will
I
come
was
up
just
and first.
reading that.
Getting a project they spoke about it every night on the campaign trail. Well, maybe it might be more pertinent to the local election. And it ain't not been me, not the federal. Spencer wasn't your name.
That's
Okay,
true.
ladies and gentlemen, we are going to speak about the Organization of American States preliminary report based on their observation of the elections from the 5th of August
August.
2022. I hope you are able to learn and hear some of the recommendations, some of the things that they feel like need to change in our election system. And I want you to know some of these things that they have been recommending are from since 2011. So they done passed through Dougie hand, they went in a Unity hand, and they're back in a Labour hand again. Um, one of the things which is amazing to me, right, Jason? How much people there live in Nevis?
Approximately 10,000.
I need to understand how come Nevis have 12,000 registered voters? Nevis got nearly
What?
13,000 registered voters. Yeah. St. Kitts and Nevis have 50,000 registered voters. And the population as far as me know only 50,000. So me don't know how everybody who lives in St. Kitts and Nevis registered vote. Are you not gonna show yet?
So that mean my daughter vote.
So Alan tell me last year them motive this and that. Even though he see him last they robbed him last year. Boy, he got to be at our Calypso show. Cause this and that never get cheated in an election yet. Um, I will be reading some of the parts of this that I feel like are, I guess, worth reading. Some of the interesting parts. Um, they say it was not due till 2025, but team unity was fractured. They mentioned that they realized that there were a lot of personal attacks during this election cycle. And they say, although all parties had committed to a code of conduct, you know, none of them it was not adhered to. So you remember we talk about some kind of code of conduct on here? We talk about it. They read the code of conduct. They was like, this is a wonderful paper. They ain't following nothing in the was no, Spencer wasn't a candidate in federal. They did not apply
I want
anything from. They did not apply
them not know
anything
the
from
father.
this. Now, the mission said that they noted that there was distrust surrounding the authorities responsible for the elections, particularly with regards to the supervisor of elections. And they had some interesting things to say about the supervisor. Um, okay. Here one of the things where they say about the supervisor, which I noticed too in the Constitution. It says sections 33 and 34 of the Constitution of Nevis state in unambiguous terms that the Electoral Commission supervises the supervisor of elections, and that in the exercise of his functions, the supervisor of elections reports to and acts in accordance with the directions of the Electoral Commission. Now, me only say that so that I can understand this. The supervisor of the election, he is the face, but he got bosses. He work for people in his ass, or he should, if the thing is working how it should be working. The supervisor of election is only acting for and behalf of. So going forward, I think we need to have Alana Manswin. Oh, going forward, going forward, I think that we need to know who is this electoral commission. We need to know these people, and they just like the integrity in public life commission. I feel like the government need to watch all these commission, and all of them need to get public, more public. All of them. If you're on a commission and you're just there and you just collect money, but you're on the commission, they should end all of them commissions there. Find a way to do whatever you're doing in the legislation without the commission. Cause you know who they on the electoral commission, Jason? You been know the supervisor had a boss?
No,
The supervisor ever look to you like I say he got a boss? You ever hear him
no.
say reporting to anybody? Oh, okay. And as we said, this is constitutionally enshrined. They say that in the engagement with the in its engagement with the commission and the supervisor, however, there appear to be ambivalence on both sides about the practical functioning of their respective supervisory authorities and reporting responsibilities, as well as underlying lack of trust, which did not seem conducive to effective collaboration. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what that means, all those fancy words mean, is that the Electoral Commission ain't just the supervisor election. The supervisor ain't just the electoral commission. And when you don't trust one another, how the hell you gonna work together? Our collaboration.
Yep.
And this is what the hell we have running our election. So Dr. Joe, this is in the report. Eh? Get on this. Get on this. And the next part of that is also the electoral commission appears not to understand what their job is. They do not appear to understand that they are in charge of daily. Bailey, sorry. And Bailey does not seem like he understands that he's supposed to report to them and ask them, so I could do this, and let him know, yeah, you could do that kind of thing. That is what that little part there mean.
Tanya asks, Alan, would the
Mhm.
supervisor election electoral office fall the under what? Anything of the AG office?
No. As I said, the supervisor of election, he is under the electoral commission.
Electoral commission.
Yeah, the commission. The supervisor of election is also the chief registration officer. That's the only overlapping thing there. But as far as I'm aware, there is not any kind of underneath in that situation. They are both different heads. They might work together, but different functionality. Cause the AG functions gonna always be wider than the electoral commission, the supervisor of the election. Cause the thing gonna just be election.
I think
Um,
Ian Nevis
mm,
Big Dapper Taylor, or Big Papa. I think the information should be on the internet, right? For who's the members of the Electoral Commission, right? You could look it up, right?
the members of the Electoral Commission, where you say you
Yeah.
was giving me the names of the people.
No, he said he was wondering who are they. So I'm telling him,
Oh,
I think you could look it up. So I'm asking, can you look it up?
um, mm, I gonna try to do it before, but I juggle the report and all of them things there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But but my overall thing is to it's like okay when me watch my favorite basketball team, I understand that the owners are important. You would only see them come out if the team win the championship. But if the owners them ain't putting money in the team ain't gonna be good. Same way still, you need a general manager, you need a coach, you need players. You gonna come down to organization. Watch out.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we talk about sports, politics, any other thing, elements of organization gonna just coming into play. And if you can't do them thing there, it just ain't gonna work out for you. In another big picture there. I was saying something. This is the
Yeah.
next sentence what I said. The electoral office's readiness for the election was an area of concern. The parliamentary system of government in St. Christopher and Nevis allows elections to be called at the discretion of the Prime Minister. And as noted, the 2022 elections were announced 3 years early, following the crumbling of the ruling Team Unity coalition. Um, they also spoke about the fact that there was a delay. You remember Parliament was dissolved the 10th, and then we was there for 2 months wondering when is election? And they say it was 2 months and then 19 days after 2 months and then 19 days later he had election.
Well,
They acknowledge that the delay played a role in like the ballots because they say you can't print the ballots until nomination day. So they understand some of the because you don't know who gonna get nominated. We might think that this person gonna get nominated and that person gonna get nominated, but you don't know what gonna happen. Somebody go fall on in the shower and the day of nomination day and unfortunately not make it. All kind of things go happen. The commission is Nasibu Butler, Jason Hamilton, and Ogrenville Brown. Okay, so those three individuals, they if my vibes is if Bailey Gaga, them should have definitely go. And you could see Jason Hamilton name involved there. That's how come I tell you. When I see Jason was gonna be the AG, I was concerned. I was concerned. And you see which party they on the electoral commission. You see how the electoral commission are going. You could draw the conclusions for yourself if that's the case. Um, let me see where I'm seeing an example of this. Another of the issues where they found is that the list of polling stations for the elections was only finalized and published on August 2nd, 3 days before the poll. Several stakeholders advised the mission that as a result, some voters remain unaware of where they were supposed to vote, and training sessions for poll staff at least 10% of which were new, was still being conducted in the days before the election. So new people, them man still a train, and election will come.
Tanya, see if me name the panelist there, daddy, but
They're doing on an on a day to day basis. Printing ain't a problem. These people had enough time. What are they doing on a day to day basis? No, Javan. All what happened is, as I say, they can't print unless they know the names. Suppose somebody decide they're going back out. Or they get sick or something. So they got to wait till nomination day and they see the actual nomination thing and then they would print the actual ballot and say, well, okay,
but
you
he
know
ain't get
what?
the point what we trying to say. Like the days them was so close. That's the actual thing we were saying. Like the days them was so close.
Mm,
Like we were grinding down to the 90 days, and like within the last set of days, everything was called upon.
mm.
So that's what happened. It's like somebody wait till Friday book me for Friday night. You know what I mean?
They also had some problems. They say the list was not finalized in time because you're supposed to go through a claims and objections process where you know the same thing when people object to your name and say, well, you know, live there, you know, yeah. They said that was not completed within the right amount of time.
So Alan,
Mm-hmm.
when before the elections, right? We had seen some information came out like your purpose of traveling and the one of them said voting involved, election involved.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Mm-hmm.
legit.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm. They also said that you remember you had here that Lindsay, I think it was, yeah, Lindsay had bring a case to say some names should be removed from the voters list.
Yeah.
I think they mentioned that 29 names were removed as a result. So the supervisor of election, he acknowledged that the process didn't go
And
as smooth
and Lindsay
as necessary, and 29 names were
and
removed.
Lindsay could have do it at 21 there.
By what I mean inside of Kentucky, if all of them been going to buy a bucket, if that what you mean,
Even
that
if you
is
buy a
still
bucket, he
not the
could not
same
catch
one.
up.
I tell you, still not same one. They say another area of concern and one that was raised in meetings with all stakeholders was the projected length of time required to tabulate the results of the polls, given the nature of the counting process. In St. Kitts and Nevis, ballots are not counted at polling stations following the close of polls. Instead, the ballot boxes are sealed and transported to a counting center in each constituency, where they are opened and counted by the returning officer. The mission was informed by multiple stakeholders that this system typically resulted in an extended delay in the publication of results. Here the next part here too. Past
Hmm.
OAS missions to elections in the Federation have consistently recommended electoral reform that allows ballots to be tabulated by the presiding officer at each polling station immediately following the close of the poll. This has not occurred to date. The mission notes that the citizens have a right to receive information on the results of an election in a timely and effective manner, and that extended delays in the announcement of results can leave space for unhelpful and harmful speculation. Like when the premier run because he had to wait go see if Labour been win one more seat to see if he could have been the prime minister. That what I'm talking about. Harmful
Yeah.
speculation. In these elections, with some 30,000 votes to be counted, the final results were not declared until 9 a.m. the following day.
Little Nevis.
And you notice them, I said they notice the same little, a lot of the things where the politicians will come back and say, well, it's complicated and this and you know the same thing. What I will take all the ballots them and carry them to one single place for. When the people them don't vote, count the ballot and then right there in the polling station and let me get on with this thing. And they say that they have consistently been saying this. So I would hope not to hear from any other politician how complicated these things really are. Let's get on with this shit. Come down. All of that was the pre-election. Let me
The
see.
printing of ballots with modern printers, we have that can be done in a short space of time. I'm not giving them any excuse. Um, my thing is the list of all things didn't have to wait until so late every month. They are supposed to be doing that, objecting names, adding names, and everything. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Another problem that they encountered. They said the presence of only one voting booth in each polling station and the practice of taking a single voter through the entire process before admitting another did not allow voters to be processed very quickly. Um, so once again, what I mean by that is, you put my voting booth in here, like do things to make because okay, here what I realize the way how Nivision, the way how Singis and Nevis politicians seem like they punish voters is like to make voting harder. No? May I wonder if you could have gone in a line, you go in there for like 3 minutes or whatever, you make your X and you come out. If you would not have been, if more people would not have want to participate in the voting, rather than have it be this long drawn out process. And know that you only gonna got one boat in there. What make you can't have 5 boat in there? What make you can't talk to 5 people one time and explain to them, yo, this is how you vote. I was going with Miguel to the go vote, because even up here, you could go with somebody in the booth go vote. Part of the good thing is like as a child, you could go in there and start to see, oh, so this is how you vote. And it's a kind of thing where you could be isolated and like, I want my vote to be secret. I can think. You could do it right there saying we need to find more ways to get this thing sped up. Is a lot of what is being said by the OAS. And I think the general public.
So system roll out a lot of wheelchair out the infirm with them too.
Um what are the infirmary? Infirmary now, which why the dead people where the infirmary there? Infirmary where dead people at?
No,
Where
the
the infirmary?
infirmary
Which part of
by the
there?
hospital.
Yeah, but me talk about which part of the hospital that that where the part of dead people in there? Or where the woman them got children?
No, you don't know what's the infirmary. Panilo said that the hospital what they used to call the poorhouse.
The poorhouse. Which part like the elderly people them where's the old people home now? No.
Mm-hmm.
Go with who? I wonder what color piece of talk about that.
Ah, there was a couple wheelchair come out in there well by. Couple wheelchair spin out in there like shit.
Mm-hmm. Voting for the elderly with disabilities and women who are pregnant. Um,
Yeah, definitely. At least you're killing me.
um, uh, also, they said that they would have liked to see more signage. I know that the Premier gonna take this to heart, because the Premier loves sign. So, Mr. Premier, you see next election, you have some big bright sign that say election, polling station. You understand? You could
Bye,
do it. You could do it
bye,
in a blue paint and all. Be smart. And you got a lot of yellow paint too. Either blue or yellow.
bye. Based on how the election you go, it look like Marco shoot me in a public and slew me.
A man in my station, a man with dementia and all voted. Yes. You thought if you're crazy, you can vote. Mm, oh, come down now to the recommendations. Electoral Authority. The Senate noted some distrust of the citizens in the office of the Supervisor of Elections, deriving from challenges with previous office holders. The mission also observed the signs of tension in the relationship between the Electoral Commission and the supervisor. While the Constitution requires the Commission to supervise the supervisor in the performance of his functions, the Commission, in its engagement with the OAS mission, did not appear to believe it had a practical authority to do so. The mission has also advised that the Electoral Commission does not typically take a leading role in electoral processes, leaving the supervisor of elections to be the face of electoral authority. Yeah, me tell you what this come down to, based on what me read here. Dr. Jogon got a. I ain't saying that Dr. Joe need to try to influence these people, except to let them know, bye, you ain't hiring in a job. So let me know if I want to do a job or if I want just let Bailey do his whole job for I. Because their job is to supervise daily. And the supervise the electoral commission, all of them at this particular moment in time full of shit. Especially when you look at the fact that a number of these recommendations start off from 2011. They got 2011, they come back 2015, and I think they had some based on the 2018. No, not 2018, 2020.
But you
So
know,
the
certain things gonna be thrown out the window easily and be forgotten and until certain things ain't work out in their favor. Like for instance, like the boundary changes and all those type of stuff too, right?
yes, but I wonder if Bungie change when I want to think them too. They say trust in and within electoral authorities is essential if citizens are to have confidence in the integrity of the electoral process. And this is what I say. If if the premier, if Dr. Joe, if any of these politicians would like more participation by the population, more confidence got to be built up in the institution. You got to at least feel like, by when me going to go vote, me vote gonna count. I don't feel like they gonna charm way, I no kind of thing like so. I got to get confidence and feel like a supervisor election is somebody with some integrity. Really and truly, more so than the politician himself. I feel like he gonna be honest. He gonna do everything to make sure that all the vote then count, and whoever win. That I be want to supervise the election. But I be need an electoral commission we're going to do the job too.
Of course. Not do
They
as they
say
say.
they recommend, in consultation with political parties, exploring strategies for the strengthening of the Electoral Commission in order to endow it with greater technical competence. That means getting a little sense. You know what I mean? Like I said, the Electoral Commission, they need to go up and train it. Somebody need to tell them, boy, this is what you mean to be on the Electoral Commission. You supposed to be actually, if the Electoral Commission supposed to make sure that when the supervisor election go and get interviews, they are a lot smoother than how they be. They're supposed to say him, yo, I don't think you should go on the radio today. Nah, nah. They supervise. You know what I mean? You can't do all yourself. As advertised by the OAS, as advised, sorry, by the OAS in
Yeah.
2011 and 2015, clearly defining, in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution, the role of the Electoral Commission in its supervision of the supervisor of elections, and as advised in 2015, strengthening strengthening both the technical and human capacity of the electoral office in order to increase its efficiency and agility in the organization and implementation of electoral processes. And the last thing, once again, as advised since 2015, establishing a comprehensive communication strategy that allows the electoral authorities to provide clear and timely information to all stakeholders, particularly political parties and citizenship. You know one thing we realize what I report here? Them man get a lot of advice since what I will tell you since 2015. You know who been in office from 2015 to 2022, right? Okay. Me not say nothing, but they were advice. And
But
and it seemed like they get in the face of great cheating, and they were advised this is what you could do to stop it.
so so it's like they admit it's like they were in a small room and you're like, yo, I know you're cheating, no. I know you
Mm-hmm.
cheat, but carry on.
Basically, the next one is electoral organization, and it's a counting ballots and the transmission of results. He said the process of determining the results can be protracted. Once the Upon the close of polls, ballot boxes are sealed and transported to a central counting center where they are opened and counted by the returning officer. As the counting process does not begin until all ballot boxes have been received at the counting center, a delay in closing the polls at any single polling station delays the overall tabulation process for the entire constituency. So the man can't even count until all the things come in. This thing, as I read it now, I understand why it's always until tomorrow. Even where all polling stations close promptly, the requirement that all ballots cast in a constituency be reviewed by a single person, the returning officer, after more than 12 exhausting hours of managing an electoral process is impractical and inefficient.
Hey,
Go ahead.
I just read in the comments, right? I
Mm-hmm.
just give me an idea. Like how Timo wants to be in the spotlight still, right? I believe Timo will gladly come to the show.
Mm-hmm. Which real talk, huh?
Not the topics.
By if Timo want to come on the topics, Timo want to start off with at least the bad one. I want got another the serious.
Because Timo still finding a way to make himself relevant still, Jen.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Oh yeah, this is something one. This is a point I've been want to make. To you.
Yes.
Um, just after the election, I would have hear people saying that they feel like, particularly I was watching the Let's Talk program, and I hear people saying that they would have like at least Mark to be involved in the new Labour government. Um, just to use the human resources and to strengthen the majority they have. In my opinion, Labour does not have a responsibility to speak to any of the federal ministers in Nevis except in the capacity and to let them know everything that they're talking to the ass is in opposition. Maybe they might want they might need certain constitutional amendments. The only time they're supposed to come together is when Labour seeking to make a constitutional amendment and they need the CCM votes to do so. No, I'm gonna say that and I'm gonna put that to the side. The premier operating to capacities. The federal government, while they don't owe it to the 3 members who was elected or were elected during the federal election, they do owe it to speak to the members of the NIA. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Because the federal government has to work with the NIA. So Spencer Brand should be in on the conversation. You understand? Chai should be in on the conversation. Cause I understand that is two different tree. At least it is a tree and one side you got an Emery Pally and the next side you got an Grafton.
And nobody want to go after.
One that are you. You go eat all the Emery Pally then. Since you want the diabetes, take all. Take all. But as me tell you, Labour ain't owe it to speak to the federal. No, I went down there, I know. Listen, I don't tell her how Nevis going to win federal election. The premier gambled and he lost. He is not owed any conversation. I like basically when you hear the premier was talking to the last prime minister, he would always say it's a premier to prime minister conversation. He never really tell us about like the federal conversations. He was like, this is like the fair share. This is between premier and prime minister, and I feel like that need to be maintained with regards to the federal seat. By I had on the other side of the bench. I all do so
I
when it
want
comes to the
Ira,
federal part.
I want
Go
Ira give
ahead.
him an interview and say, how you feel that you lost? And he gonna correct him. I didn't lose. I won all 3 seats.
By the premier is a tremendous. I thought I thought it's the new unity. I thought it's
That
the
would have
new
never happened.
unity. What I mean by that would have never happened.
The new unity would have never happened because Pam ain't nothing about no leadership. If Pam ain't about leadership, Timothy would have never been in power in the first place.
Okay. So oh yeah, we were talking about team relevance and mark. What are you happy about with regards to the federal election is two things. The premier couldn't sue himself. He could not have the premier Mark Brantley suing federal minister for number 9, Mark Brantley. That would not have worked. But now that you in opposition, you could sue the federal government if there is any money to suffer. You have tremendous lawyers. This is open again. So Nevis have the opportunity. We go sue, and then with regards to the opposition, but we got an all-star opposition right now. How you mean, Timama? So you don't know if Labour slip up,
All them.
them man won't be on the case. Yeah. So so
Look on all of them over there. The back
yeah,
over there, all of them.
we got start opposition. So things good still. When the premier say for the premier to say he ain't lose, he could still say he's a leader. He's just the leader of the opposition. He would have never get prime minister. So at least he lead something. When it come to the federal ministry, the premier don't know what time it is. Yeah. The only thing he gonna be leading is the opposition, and he in charge of that now again. Where is he going? He win.
I'm not sure would have never been prime minister, so me not have to worry.
But that will not have been a good look. Um. Oh yeah. So the last thing what I say is you got a returning officer in there for more than 12 hours. You're gonna make them wait until all the ballots and them reach to the one polling station, and then you still gonna make them count all the ballots and make it worse when people want recount. So they're saying that in a practical that there is a waste of energy and all that kind of thing. That it better if the presiding officer, it better if the presiding officer them are able to do it. They should be trained. How hard is it to count? One, two, three, four. Me not understand. Say, as noted earlier, citizens have a right to receive information in a timely manner, and it said amending the Elections Act should be amended to allow a preliminary count of ballots to be made by the presiding officer at each polling station in the presence of party agents immediately following the close of polls, both to expedite the count and to enhance confidence and security. This will facilitate a more timely issuance of preliminary results to citizens. And second, no, a second and final count of the ballots can thereafter be undertaken by the returning officer to verify the results. I feel like that would be better. I feel like that would be real better.
Count the boxing. We said that already.
Um, me go try skip to one or two of them things. One of the things where they say advanced special voting, and I really feel like this is one of the things where we need to look into. They say there are no provisions right now to have advanced voting. The mission was informed that the amendment was that allowed advanced voting in 2015 election was repealed, given concerns that it might allow the choices of the voters to be known. Hold on, let me get an apple to the
Yeah, man. I just want to say manners and respect to everybody watching and, what I mean, being educated by, my boy Alan Powell. And as we, you know, say, we 2 cents about whatever. And hey, it is what it is. It's just the topics.
I've been asked just by nobody tonight. I've been on the electoral, not even the electoral
Because me
commission.
being just shut a little bit more never like, because me see a sissy woman a complain. What should me say tell me about? See me don't squeeze
Um,
it, you know.
they say there are no provisions in the Act for electors to vote in places other than their designated polling place, including citizens residing overseas, patients in hospitals or nursing homes, or qualified incarcerated persons. As a consequence, voters whose names appear on the voters list but are unable to attend their designated polling place on election day are not able to cast their vote. Before I continue, you been know that certain people who are jail supposed to be able to vote.
I saw Alisa mention it earlier. I guess certain
Mm-hmm.
people with certain privileges, I guess, certain leeway. I guess shorter time span, like 6 months or something like that. How it goes?
Yeah, it's something like that. If you're serving, I think it might be less than 12 months actually. But it's like them shorter term span. You're supposed to be able to. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to vote. Yeah, at least yeah, on the block.
Yes,
I'm not.
has advanced voting and electronic voting results are known for all seats within an hour.
That was wonderful.
But Nevis not ready for that day yet. I be wanna be grandmother caught them thing they are be. Now after you look, I be run back down there and say, come back.
Um, they said that we should try to get back the early voting and consider mechanisms to facilitate voting for other categories of persons who may not be able to visit their polling stations on election day. I think that would be like electronic voters and them type of thing.
But
And
don't they, but
also and also the electronic voters, Mr. Brantley, he gonna save you a lot of plane ticket money so that you ain't got to bring back so much of NRP people. And the same thing for um
but
NRP.
also Alan, it could also get the election day itself, right? And it's like when you're going to pay your cable bill. You know what I mean? So people don't wait till the 10th rush to go line up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so many people could start vote even before.
Yeah, man. And as you said, Nevlek Panabi asked now, Nevlek will let you know you don't have to come in. You could pay the bill online. So we need to figure out ways for people to be able to vote online as well.
It's not hard. It's not hard because if the fucking boy believe in a niche, you know what I mean? That ain't hard to create.
Well, this is gonna be also on Canvas because I think what he created a labor app. So let me see. And by yeah, me tell you what the bad part about that be. He in government now.
Mm-hmm.
If he company give me the app, how am I supposed to watch that? You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It will kind of be they're gonna have to work out the story. I would prefer if the app come from someone else now. He make
What
himself
happened,
too
right?
big with that.
What happened, right? You see, the elections become traditional now. We're accustomed to certain things, so we ain't want to break from that because some of us feel like it more anticipated that way. You know what I mean? Rather than out here, people just see election coming up after try get it out the way as quick as possible.
But Javan, some of them embassy they far. I want to make it as simple as possible for those who don't live in the federation. I saw a sample ballot, for example. Cause this is what they would do to you. They would send you up here a sample ballot so that you could already see where this is how the thing gonna look and all them kind of thing there. I want them to be able to send divisions a real ballot. Understand? And you could make your X all your clock and send it back. I feel like
But they could count up,
I feel
then I
like
got to send them back, they could counter right there in the Bronx.
well if they're gonna send it now to some kind of as you say, you could send that to the embassy. I could see that being sent. Yeah. Something go work out. Something go work out, man.
Something could work out. But as I tell
Mm.
you, everything is traditional now, right? So it's certain things are sweeter for them that way. You know, everything has to be dramatic.
Traditional.
Some sort of excitingness behind it. It's like an experience
So watch out. To you, Nevis people traditional.
when it comes to election.
When it come to election, no,
Mm-hmm.
on a cultural level. The boy really and truly Nevis woman like Kawacha don't run from it saying anything to me. Nevis woman like oh married and so. We dealing how Nevis man we dealing with traditional people. Ain't so? I really feel like I own the election. Boy, so you wanna tell me you doesn't see Nevis people how they deal with food? They will tell you that ain't not really food. But what food? Um um, race and you understand what I mean? They got the eating that in their idea. This is what food look like. Sometimes you go certain places. How can you just like us? You check? You know just like how you're supposed to be just. How am I supposed to just? Yes, Alan, mail-in ballot. You does this for the military and nationals living abroad. Yeah, I feel like that need to happen. Either that or some kind of electronic circumstance. We bring enough
Electronic
fun.
vote will be kind of problematic in the sense that extra fluff on the list will more of a say in outcome of the election to come greater extent. Okay. It will cheaper, yes, but for those who fly in and to vote, will have to put in the effort.
Um, I asked the premier a question concerning finance,
Yes.
and one of the things that they have said is that since 2010, in 2011 and 2015, there is no legislative framework concerning political financing. You say in this context, candidates and parties can accept unlimited contributions in any form and in any amount from donors that remain entirely anonymous. The reason why you have to be concerned with that, ladies and gentlemen, is because your politician could get bought for anybody. The reason why I was asking the Premier, Mr. Bradley, do you feel like we should have political um, finance laws so that we could know what is taking place? Is I wanted the Premier to let me know. Do you think that I should know if you ever get bought? Who are buy you out? That's what the question be, you know. But you can't ask the question like so. You have to ask the question about finance laws and all that kind of thing there. And then you have to give her the answer of, well, no, I'm protecting the small man. What about when the small man want to? Nobody is concerned about the small man giving a political party in a $10. And no small man is going to be concerned. Who he give money? In a Nevis? Boy, Nevis people are one thing I will tell you. If they with you, then with you. If they ain't with you, they must silent. It gonna be more like I feel you. But when they're with you and they don't care. For real, for real. We need to know. It would be important going forward that we know who are contributing to these parties, because then when they get in and you see certain contracts going in certain places, you're gonna say, oh, it gonna make more sense to you.
Well, last time me do a campaign. Last time me do a campaign. Me send the bill to the administration, not to the campaign.
hmm And the premier gonna like this because they say that if there's these laws, then it gonna lead to greater equity and transparency. And the premier is a man, he loves transparency. The only thing we know in your accountability. This would have been his shit if he had it in accountability. But Mr. Premier got in some transparency. So, like, push for these. Let the people and them see what going on. And he said they should also establish limits on private donations and in-kind donations from individuals, businesses, and prohibiting anonymous donations, um, creating legal standards and practices for recording, managing, and reporting political party contributions, strengthening political party oversight measures and mechanisms, as well as penalties for non-compliance. Um, this would hurt NRP more than CCM. 'Cause right now, CCM is kind of like an organization. NRP ain't realize that politics is a business. He ain't gonna want that. So if Alan have a truck and he donate 100,000 to CCM, then they win, and he get a trucking contract from government for 1.5 mil. We can we can say, and that's what I wanna say. That would be transparency. I would feel better about it. It's a more honest transaction. We're talking about
Yeah,
transparency and these kind of things. Show me.
but no accountability.
And furthermore, cause here's the thing about it, because I gave you money does not mean me gonna vote for you neither, you know. It even mean me gonna vote. This is not that. Me not talk about that. We're saying for we need when you see America is concerned about the Russian thing, Trump particularly, and they was concerned. They were concerned about where he get the money from in terms of we don't want Russia buy off our president. No country want to be feel like they are being led by foreign agents. Uh agents even domestic that are against the country. You know, really like them people there. Me don't want them they got how much influence over the leader of the country. And I was disappointed with the premier to talk about he want to protect the small man from his contribution being secret. No, it, more damage could be done by what we do know than what we know. I don't think if they have
Exactly. Because when it
the
come out
place a
after,
restrict. Mm-hmm. Y'all ever watch the show Ozark? Influence and money from higher powers can definitely make the results what they want them to be. I think in general, but by if Nevis people if Nevis people gonna decide who they want to lead them, money gonna can't win the election. You can't do it. I'm telling you, I have confidence Nevis people will take your money and do what they want to do. Full confidence that Nevis people will take your money and do exactly what they want to do. They say they want more participation by women in election. I want more participation by women in everything
we
in
want more
life.
participation by leadership, no gender.
Um, they say they would like to ensure that provisions of the Elections Act are strictly complied with at all times, especially during the pre-electoral periods. And what I mean by that is, right, they would like to know how come nobody don't get locked up for voter fraud? Hey, watch it, is 20 people get locked up there and they pay for that damn. People that get locked up. Others, they are actual prosecutions. And just you would hear by, we think that they're cheating. And this is why I'm always concerned by these people saying them cheat, them cheat, them cheat, them cheat. Well, what going on? Me even see some cheating went down in Jamaica, but I see it live for myself. I will go far with them kind of thing there. Cause me I try to tell you, if you cheat me, I'm gonna embarrass you, watch everybody gonna know that the election not be fair. They gonna got to go another one. Cause if you bang me clean. You gonna be some boy is world class cheating, you're gonna got to cheat me, boy. Me mothers, yeah, me I make you go all the way with them cheating there. Um Um,
And some Spanish were held last elections, eh? What happened after what happened after idea? They don't disappear, man.
some Spanish one. Hell, last next one is. Me. And you see, that means me no hear no charges. Kawacha, me not tell you that them people up here get convicted, and I tell you that they was charged though. Something happened there in the system. Something is taking place. At least they make you feel like them out. In a Nevis, me not really feel like nobody walk. Because the money I tell me people are cheating and this and that. NRP, Cleon trying to convince me that dead people name going up on the list. Boy, you know how hard it be you take off somebody name off the list when them dead boy Jason. You go them death certificate and all them thing man. So when me don't got you all them thing they are telling you Jason that name they can't appear back on the list. Whoever working in electoral office would have to be fired. And the next thing with Cleon what make she can't talk so Cleon only one election. How Cleon know all them thing yeah? I one election Cleon run and Cleon know all them thing yeah? Really? I feel like election election is a case. CCM is gonna be the defendant. You understand? They don't got they don't have all the acknowledgements and all the achievements. I see the premier put out that thing say what about 40 things maybe he do with the 400 million. He said them man do 40 things with 400 million and Jason the first thing maybe he said is that the 400 million can't cover the salary. So me don't know how he do 40 things with the 400 million. You see how amazing this shit be? The 400 can't cover the salary for the workers. But you do 40 things? How? How?
It don't make no
How you get
sense.
that? And then I'm gonna tell
Don't
you
worry.
something.
Some sort of niche. He create a
I-
niche.
I'm gonna tell you something. Mr. Premier, please, I beg you. You try continue kiss Dr. Joe ass. Because I've been looking at the budgets and I know what you know, which is that if we do not get this money from Singits, the worst year what NRP had, oh, all of your years then gonna be the worst year, and it's not gonna be nice to live in a Nevis. So, Mr. Premier, I advise you, anytime you see Dr. Joe, you clean his shoes. If you're gonna give him a watch, make sure you don't give him no damn stupid Hublot. You try get him a real, you know, get him a better watch than you. Ain't gonna be hard, but you know what I mean. Upgrade the thing. This is your time to kiss ass. The numbers is not good. Jason, yo, Davis is in a kind of position right now. And Mr. Premier again, check our election quick. The longer you take with this
Well,
thing, it ain't gonna be nice. I'm telling
when
you,
he could go back and blame COVID, but
Jason Boy,
I still see something come out saying Sinkis Nevis had the best budget so far. That was the former prime minister.
Chantel, it depends, not just Rolex. You gonna got to buy him one of the good style of Rolex. You gonna make him feel presidential. And this now, I like how the premier lose the election. Stick with the Hublots.
But here
Stick with
again,
it.
who been who been more concerned for Nevis knowing for Nevis?
Bye. But you know the next thing what I want to say too, because I hear a lot of people talking about we must discuss secession from Sinkits and article whatever it is in the constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Nevis, we don't even have rangers. You understand? We're not gonna sheriffs. We're not gonna kind of police, you know? We do not have like a real functioning airport at this point in time. We got one hospital. You understand? We, as I tell you now, yo, the premier for sure. He never give you a budget. What tell you? Nevis make this amount of money. The premier concern, for example, right now about the CBI. Nevis have its own non-tax revenue in the form of like financial services. The premier would benefit from the growth of financial services. How come financial services ain't pulling in $100 million a year? Which, yo, with regards to the numbers what Nevis pulling, if the premier was to pull in 50 million a year from financial services, big number for Nevis. Ain't mean nothing to sink it, but for Nevis, that's a big number. But I don't understand, and these are not things what we hearing spoken about. We only hear we want to participate in SK ideas, whereas SK ain't got LLCs and IBCs on them. Why we ain't formulating within to attract these companies?
True.
What make these companies ain't even being attracted to Nevis to then go do whatever business they're doing in SK? Either way is how we supposed to be pimping off our winning off a SK. But we only saying like we wanna participate in SK um money, and we our budget, our revenue, minute our revenue might be barely 200 million. Our expenditure is more than 200 million. And SK budget, SK revenue is like a billion. Our percentage revenue in the 25%, but we want 25% of money. And another setup what the premier do. So Alan, what is coming in right now? Be more clear, Tanya. But another setup the premier give is this. The premier would have said, well, I'm the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So Nevis should be getting this amount at the CBI. Know that the premier is not the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Why are we supposed to be again?
Hmm.
No,
Well,
no,
he
no,
maybe
no,
go got idea.
no, no, he's the minister of leader of the opposition. We supposed to get, we supposed to be getting a share of CBI now after this because now we're not even in a position to do the work. One thing, this is gonna be my final piece of advice for the premier.
Mm-hmm.
This is not about you should treat me right. Not even in a relationship you're supposed to be at that. You should treat me right. No. Line up your interests. You understand? Explain to the body. You
Of
understand
course.
why it is in your best interest to treat you right. You understand?
Yeah, be
Um
the picture
a,
fact.
a woman supposed to treat when a woman treat she man in a certain kind of way. But he gonna find ways to come home and be like, by God, you gonna make that woman happy. So let me not vex. You understand? Me wanna make me feel so good. Me got, oh my God. Boy, what me gonna do now? Who makes you feel the kind of good? You understand? And the
Yeah.
same way you got to treat the thing. You got to deal with the thing. Yeah. But Mr. Premier just now, yeah, you're gonna be kissing a lot of ass. Cause if we ain't get the money there, from what me see, if I minus the budgetary support there, me mutter so what? Civil servants? What? The new taxes on them will be all come up and have ass if Singit stop send the money there, right? Nevis is not in a good place at this moment in time. We need to be very proactive.
When people in government mean when they has certain chaos going on, don't alert the people yet. They'll panic.
Boy,
They'll panic.
I tell you now, I'll be as for the budget, yeah. Mr. Premier. My God. Woo!
Well, Alan, before we go, you go call the numbers
Which numbers? What number you need?
in terms of the budget.
Well, for example, 2020,
Yes,
we had, what did I say? Overall balance was minus 7 million, right?
yes.
No. When you say minus 7 million, that are when SK Gabi 50 something million dollars, huh? Yes. So if
What?
you minus it, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This SK money involved, huh? So if all these years when we've been getting this budgetary support, whatever you want to call it, when you take away the budgetary support from Nevis money, boy, I burn them and I burn up money. If we wasn't getting the budgetary support, instead of losing a little bit, we would have been a lose big. We would not have lose by less than 50
Hmm.
in the year of the Mark Brantley administration. So
You got anything for 2021?
no.
Nothing has been updated for 2021.
Well, what else happened? They just take the following. They just take a year to like to seemingly to get all of the numbers. So the only actual numbers I would have is for like 2020 going back. Anything else would just be a budgeted number. But watch out. What me I try to tell you is the premier one thing he know the money gonna get fucked. So even in he budget will tell you a budgeting to lose by a little bit. He
Of
always
course.
budget to lose by at least a little bit. But I'm telling you, if they sink its budget money in the oh my god.
But I'm just
The
looking at
list,
the fact that remember we were speaking about this a few months back based on the fact NRP was going through like in terms of the closing down of four season and all those type of stuff and still pull through comparing to this. What they gonna say? Things are harder now, things are more rough now, inflation and all those stuff. Like I'm waiting for more excuses.
see, 2019 was minus 28 million. As I tell
Wow.
you, this are with 40 something million from the
So
federal government. So that would have been like
wow.
net
And that
70
was
something million.
2019
Yeah.
before COVID. We just want to make it be clear.
2018 was 9 million, minus 99 million. Them kind of things there. The premier is, as I tell you, the premier, one thing you're sure, he gonna fuck up the money. He going to fuck up the money.
Hmm.
And going forward, and because I don't know the money gonna go fuck up. I feel like I don't know that me ain't need no CCM manifesto. I don't need a senior CCM manifesto. They got so much of things to finish. Just tell me we're gonna try finish the things them or we start from since 2013. And me good. And me good. And happy? Your job. And I think it's a simple job. is to say what you would have done better, what you would have done differently, and show me the excess. Cause oh my god, listen, the premiators put out some things, and you got to really read them to understand. As I tell you, the premier put out the thing here. We get $400 million. Um, the salaries for 7 years was $775 million. So right away you don't realize he had to go look 350 something $1 million there, just to pay salary and still do 40 things. Me go understand how come I done none. I would have do four and done all
But
four.
to me, based on how the $400 million went, as somebody mentioned, like 10 million. I guess he been a spread. I guess he was spreading everything. You know, what I mean, trying to do everything at once. Based on how we see it,
That what I tell
he
you.
spread the money to do different things accordingly, and it didn't work out in his favor.
How the premier run government is like how me don't make breakfast sometimes. But the problem is you can't be able to egg over here, and then you got sausage over here, and then you got the next thing there, and then you got something in the toaster, something on burn up.
Me do, watch
Something
me do
on
the egg last. Cause me do the egg. If
some
me do the egg first, it'll get cold.
something on burn up. You understand? He want to do all and tell you. No, done one, finish one. That will come here tell the CCM now on a manifesto. CCM, the name of CCM manifesto is we finally gonna finish.
So
That
CCM like a
that
culture
are the
armor this
team
year.
too.
Not gonna road march nothing.
I don't want CCM be like a culture armor this year because I never want nothing be like a culture armor this year again. I don't. The culture armor they were passed this year. Labby just forget about that one there. They done with that one there. Me no want nothing else come like other culture armor. Right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've been needing to let everyone sleep. I love bigger people all
Yeah,
over and say
man. Manners and
I love
respect to each
people.
and everybody, and at least you see the numbers. And if you want to look up some more information, please give them the website so if they could look up information for themselves. Because sometimes you don't have to wake up
Currently, the
dedicate
hours
yourself a
are
morning time to read
11:55 g.
what somebody have to say who make themselves look good. The facts are there online. And what
Mm.
is the website? www. What?
But actually, I putting it in the I can put it in the feed right now.
Yes, please do. So people could know, they could look up certain information for themselves, so they know, yo, this man can't fool me because the numbers here. Once we present the numbers, you know what I mean, we could attach a story to it. What I
Oh,
mean, yo,
what I mean, the numbers for the budget. 'Cause if I
yeah,
want the numbers for the budget, just go what is everyone? NIA.gov. Google Nevis Island government. And then there is go on documents, and then you got budgets, and you can see all the budgets. Well, some of the budgets from
Alicia,
about 2005.
what? What the next topic I went? Alicia, send me a pic and I'll tell you what the next topic be.
Um, the next topic gonna be we're gonna be talking about next week. Next week Tuesday is the premier's press conference.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we're gonna hear what the latest is. He would have met with Dr. Drew and the local election campaign. If you're looking at the CCM Facebook page and you're paying attention, you don't know if you're not a bit of attention. Eh? Well, in case any of the other of the population paying attention, the local election campaign has started. Yeah, and I like how Zook actually, I see Zook at some kind of conference or something in Nevis.
Yeah, bro.
It's good to see Zook in Nevis.
But
You have a
anyways, we
facsimile
guys
of
got to
picture
go,
to
man.
leave your wife good. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You
Whew.
don't. Alisa, you don't too late. Me don't left my wife long time. You stop there. Me don't left she long time. So you too late. You go be up to date there. Come up to speed there. Anyways, manners and respect to everybody. You know what I mean, for enjoying the show. And it was the topics. It's been real. It's been Alan. Yeah, I'm out.
Later, everybody.